Fantastic. Everyone's seeing the screen all right. We can get right into it. So, folks, welcome to this episode on our 2022 Best Practices webinar series. Today is going to be focused on the best practice of video content. A little bit about myself. My name is Spencer Bard. I am the client experience specialist here at Keystone Click, and I take care of most of our video production projects. And I'm excited to show you guys a few best tips and tricks. Jack, why don't you introduce yourself?
Hi guys, I'm Jack Martin. I'm a web developer with Keystone Click. I'm in charge of building websites, maintaining websites, and all things web related.
No doubt. So let's get into things. Before we get started, a quick agenda that what we're going to cover today. So I'm going to start off by briefly looking at the benefits of video compared to other forms of content. From there, we're going to start taking a look at those best practices. What makes videos successful? What makes people want to engage with them? The optimal video length that you should be shooting for across different channels. What types of videos there are available to create? Some tips for creating some examples. Closed captions, best practices for that. Those are a necessity here in 2022. And then call to actions, directing folks where you want them to go next, showing them those next steps. We're going to take a quick tour of some of the tools, free tools we like to use at Keystone Click for some of our internal videos, Canva and Lumen 5. And then last but not least, we're going to take a look at what's coming up in the future, which is live video. So that's kind of been blowing up lately. So we'll finish up with that. All right, without further ado, I will pass the mic off to my compadre, Jack, and we'll get started.
All right, thanks, Spencer. All right, so let's start this off. Why video? What are the benefits? So according to social media today, video posts on Facebook receive the most shares and videos see 9 times the engagement of basic tweets. That's huge. People tend to gravitate more towards video than a standalone image or text. 54% of consumers want to see videos from brands they support as compared to email newsletters or social image posts, according to a HubSpot research study. I personally would much rather watch an engaging video than read through a text-heavy e-newsletter any day. So that brings us down to conversions and sales. A recent study suggests that adding videos to your product or service page can increase purchases by 144%. It is highly recommended to add videos to any landing pages as it brings that extra level of engagement with your audience. This can help increase conversions by up to 80%. I mean, that's huge. That can really help boost your conversions. Next is trust. We have a small infographic to the right of the slide that kind of explains this a little bit further, but videos are a great way to showcase your business culture. People want to buy from businesses that they know, like, and trust, and utilizing video in your content strategy will help you accomplish that. One really good way of doing that is through SEO. As well as videos being great components in many marketing campaigns and being a great tool to deliver information, another great benefit marketers love revolves around your search engine results page ranking. If you take the time to ensure that your video is SEO optimized with a great and relevant thumbnail, eye-catching title, and good quality content, videos can bring a lot of organic traffic to your site, increasing your ranking and gaining views in the process. YouTube is actually the second largest search engine next to Google, and it functions very similarly to Google in terms of how they rank their videos. Next is engagement. In terms of engagement, video is king, and it is the best way to boost your reach, post interactions, and click-through rate. It outperforms all other forms of content across all platforms, including Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn. Also, with the recent emergence of strictly video platforms such as TikTok, it's important to note that the consumer desire for video content is only going to increase.
Definitely. And one thing I want to add when it comes to the landing page adding videos, those is just a lot of times when folks get to landing pages, they don't want text heavy landing pages where if they have to scroll to get all their information, which is why having a video on that header image or hero site of the landing page, that'll really help get your information across in a very interactive way compared to just people scrolling throughout and getting their information that way. So moving on.
Totally. All right. So going on to next, some of the best practices in video creation and what makes them successful. First off, successful videos inspire. Generate an emotion. Anytime you can generate an emotional response with your video content, you can consider that a big win. Next, successful videos educate. I'm really into skateboarding and snowboarding. And one thing I like to do if I'm learning new tricks or new techniques, I'll hop on YouTube and I'll just kind of watch some trick tip tutorials, and that really helps kind of speed up the process of learning new tricks and techniques. Next, successful videos, they entertain. Everyone likes to be entertained, plain and simple. When creating video content, basically, you always want to try to use one or more of these best practices to be successful.
Yeah, definitely. And so when you're creating video, try to have these 3 things in mind. Is your video inspiring your audience in any way? Is it educating, or is it focused on entertaining? Really try to focus on one of those aspects with every video you create. And now we're going to get into some types of videos.
All right. So some of the best practices for different types of videos. These are just some of the different options you have when you're creating video content. So first, demo videos. Demo videos showcase how a product or service works, and they help your audience to better understand the benefits from your services. Brand videos showcase company's vision or mission, and they help establish a trust with your audience. Event promo videos increases conversions or signups for events and creates a great interactive experience. These event promo videos, they're great for event landing pages. Expert interviews. Capturing interviews with internal experts or thought leaders in your industry is a great way to build trust and authority with your target audience. Find the influencers in your industry, whether they share your point of view or not. Get these discussions in front of your audience. Webinars, hey, that's you got going on here.
Welcome.
Yeah, they allow you to provide helpful information to your audience, and that information can be sliced and diced into smaller pieces and viewed at a later date, which is nice if you just want to focus in on some key points in one area. It's nice to be able to break that down. How-to videos teach your audience something new and showcases your industry knowledge. Animated videos create an interactive experience with strong visuals to explain an abstract product or service. And case studies, when future clients review case studies, they're likely already aware of their options. They just simply need one strong motivator to seal the deal. And live videos, we're going to get further into that in the presentation.
Fantastic. And as you can see with the images, we've got some screenshots of different videos that we've published. So Guide to Profits, that's related to one of our white papers that give helpful tips. So we filmed us delivering those tips. So that'd be kind of one of those how-tos. And then you can kind of go throughout. You can see the case study video, some culture videos in terms of who is Keystone Click, brand videos, then some webinars as well. So just giving you some examples of different options for videos to create. And before we move on to the next slide, one thing I should mention, I didn't mention at the start, is feel free to throw in any questions you have into the chat, and we will be sure to get to them at the end of the webinar. So moving on though to video length. So when you're looking at social video, especially on platforms like Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, platforms such as those, your videos should not exceed about 2 to 3 minutes. You know, people lose interest after those first few minutes. And that's really why you want to keep those videos short, compact, and to the point. And that kind of brings us to that second point, which is where you really want to grab the attention of your viewer within that first 10 to 15 seconds. You know, looking at a homepage of a website, it's been said that you only have a couple seconds to grab the attention of the visitor. The same really goes for video, where you want to grab their attention Otherwise, you'll lose about a majority of your video of your viewers. So try to grab their attention. Try to keep those videos to a smaller length overall. The one exception being YouTube, which is more built for those longer form videos. That brings us to some types of forms of videos. So we've all heard of long form and short form content, but just in terms of videos, when we're looking at long form, the real ideal length for social media, as I mentioned before, is about 1 to 3 minutes. And some examples can include reviews, training, any interviews with those industry experts, discussions, such things as that, any events. So webinar, if you want to post some clips from that, some insights, that'd be a great place to post a more of a longer video that people can really get that value out of. The best channels to publish this type of information or this form of content on are your Facebooks, your LinkedIn, your YouTubes. Those are the channels where people are not just strictly looking for that entertainment side of things, but are also looking for that information, showcasing yourself as a thought leader, so on and so forth. So all videos are going to have the benefits of increasing that brand awareness and generating more reach. People are scrolling through Facebook or LinkedIn. They have more of a tendency to just skip through images or infographics. When they see video, it usually piques their curiosity, and that's what generates that higher awareness and kind of reach and interaction overall. Is videos tend to just pique people's interest a bit more. So in terms of search engine optimization, this is more in relation to YouTube, or if you put a video on your website. So as Jack mentioned, YouTube is the second biggest search engine just behind Google. And the way it ranks videos is very similar to how Google ranks different listings or websites. So someone enters something into the search bar and Google and YouTube will rank videos based on that. So, and it's these long form videos are great for just sharing your message as a whole. When it comes to those short form videos, we're really looking for less than 60-second videos. These are going to be quick videos to really showcase your personality. Office tours, showing your space, giving people that behind the scenes look at what it looks like to work at your business, or what the environment feels like. Could be great for introducing your employees, getting to know the team, so on and so forth. Just really great ways to put personality on. As Jack mentioned, people buy from businesses they know, like, and trust. So using the short form content to show some personality is always a great way to do those. So some of the best channels for that are some of those channels that are more leaning in towards that entertainment side. So your Instagrams, your Snapchats, Twitter, TikTok are all great, are all optimal channels to post this short form content. If your business is targeting younger generation, this is also a great form of content to use. As I mentioned before, showing personality, and then any quick updates you have to share going forward. So in terms of creating responsive videos, you really want to ensure that your videos aren't unresponsive. So a lot of times this happens because videos are not created with mobile users in mind. So most people actually, when it comes to watching videos, they consume them using phones or tablets, so things of those sort versus desktops. So the big thing in that is that videos need to appear as well as they do on desktop as they do on mobile devices. So the big thing for this is choosing text size. So if you're creating a video using one of the tools that we'll show you later on the presentation on your desktop, really pay attention to that text size. Is this text size going to translate over to a mobile device? Well, are people going to be able to read it easily? Those are just some things that are really good to think about. Another best practice to think about when it comes to your websites, because we develop websites, we like to think about websites. Jack's a developer, all he does is websites. Wanted to talk about some quick best practice for ensuring that your videos on your website are responsive. So most websites in today's day and age are going to allow you to import videos straight from YouTube onto your site. And that is definitely what we recommend, using a third-party source such as YouTube or Vimeo, and using a link to add that to your embed the video on your site. Why do we do this? Why do we recommend this? The big reason is because uploading an entire video file to your site takes up a lot of space. It's going to add a lot of what we call weight to the page. It's going to make the page take longer to load. So by importing them or embedding the videos from YouTube, you're not going to affect the load speed of your website, and you're going to be increasing your engagement on YouTube as well. And it's going to make people aware of your account.
Yep.
Moving forward on call to actions. We are always harping on call to actions, and video is no different, just because we want to, once someone sees your video, we want to push them along to the next step in the customer journey. After someone watches your video, you don't want them to be confused about how the video is in relation to your call to action. You want the call to action to be a clear guide, taking them to the next step and encouraging them to go to that next step. So in terms of videos, adding a call to action at the end of videos, whether it be a social post or YouTube video, is going to help you drive more traffic to your website, which at the end of the day, more traffic on your website typically means more conversions. So one of the ways you can add call to actions on YouTube is through their end screen, which will be about the last 5 to 20 seconds of the video. YouTube allows you to add clickable elements to the end screen. So once you get towards the end of the video, they'll pop up. They can either be links to new videos, they can be links to your website, so on and so forth. So you really want to make sure that those clickable links that come out of the end screen are in relation to the video that they had just previously watched. Another way you can add a call to action on YouTube is in the description once you are posting the video. When you add a description for a little bit about the video, and then if you're interested in learning more, click here and then add the link to the next step you want them to take. So that's just another way you can add a call to action to a YouTube video. So in terms of social posts, however, that call to action is going to be the link within the description of the post. So you're going to type out your body content and have it be in relation to the video, and then say, if you want to read the rest of the blog here, and then add the link. Click the link below to learn more. Just be really clear about what the next step is going to be and what will happen once they do click the link. So you don't want to say, click this link to view the rest of the blog and then have it be taking them to a landing page for a service offering. It's really just making sure that your call to action is in alignment with the video and with the post itself. Moving on to closed captions. So closed captions are something that we harp on constantly as well. So the funny thing is that way back in the day, closed captions used to be mainly thought as something that would be implemented just so those with hearing impairments could follow along. But nowadays, that's not so much the case. People are watching videos with the sound off. Actually, 80% of people who use closed captions aren't hearing impaired. So a lot of people need to consume video with no sound, and closed caption does need to be included into all videos. Most platforms, such as Facebook, as YouTube, do have automatic captions. But one of our biggest pet peeves here at Keystone Click is that a lot of times people, once they add the auto captions, don't go in to make sure that those are in alignment with what's actually being said in the video. Auto captions are great to use for that initial closed caption adding to videos, but you really want to make sure that you go through before you publish the video. Make sure that all the captions are correct from a grammatical perspective, spelling perspective, capitalization perspective. Give it that extra 2 or 3 minutes of review just to ensure that everything is correct. So you're giving the same experience to you, the people who are using the closed captions, as you are the people who are listening to it with the sound on. So just to reiterate, most platforms do offer the auto captioning tools, but really make sure that you're making the edits before publishing and doing that once over. And we do have a blog on the Keystone Click website that I will send a link to once in the recording email that you guys will receive with on-demand recording to the webinar. It's an interesting read, and I highly recommend checking it out. Moving on to just some general overall tips, kind of a process for creating video, some best practices. Really make sure to plan and script your video in advance. Create a storyboard if you have to. Write down the topics of what you want your video to be. Some main points you want your audience to see while watching the video. That's really crucial to have a plan to your video so you can make sure that the content is in alignment, as well as that you have the topic available and are confident for adding thoughts on that topic. The second big point is making sure that the content in the video is relevant to your brand and for your audience. You don't be pushing content in front of your audience that they don't care about. So really ensure that your audience is going to be interested in the content. And that can be, if you've had a blog on your website do well, maybe a video on that would be effective, or in relation to your service offering, so on and so forth. Just make sure that it's going to be of value to your audience, and that it's going to, and that it has your branding, so on and so forth. Another thing to focus on is making sure that your content is consistent. Have one main focus area for all your videos. Don't try to avoid jumping from topic to topic throughout videos. Really try to be consistent and stay true to one topic. That'll make your life easier when it comes to adding call to actions and directing people to take that next step. Focus on creating compelling and captivating content. That just comes back to the inspire, educate, or entertain your audience. You know, from a B2B or a business perspective, a lot of it is going to be on the education side. You want to educate your audience, show industry news, and that's what's going to showcase to your audience that you are the expert in your field, and that will build that know, like, and trust factor. So really focus on the educate, entertain, or inspire when creating your videos. On the next one, making sure that your video is formatted correctly and the length is optimized for each platform. So as I mentioned, shorter videos for Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, but you can use more of those longer form videos when it comes to Facebook and LinkedIn and YouTube. So really just making sure that your content is optimized from a length perspective. And that's not to say that you can't post longer videos to Instagram or shorter videos to Facebook and LinkedIn. That's just, those recommendations are just just the optimized recommendations from us. Adding closed captions, the big tip for that is use the auto caption functionalities that channels like Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube have to offer, but make sure you're going in and double checking that everything's correct. And last but not least, mention it before, I'm going to mention it again, inspire, educate, or entertain your audience with every video. That is crucial.
I'd like to just add something to the closed captions.
Yes,
you
sir.
could make a completely beautiful video, edited perfect. If you have spelling errors in your captions, that could totally take, your audience's attention off your video and onto your spelling errors. So definitely take that into account when you're creating video.
Definitely. Thanks, Jack. So we're going to do a quick tour of some tools we like to do, Canva and Lumen 5. Just a really high level overview to give you guys a taste of what these are like to use. And before, let me preface this by saying a lot of the issues we see with videos doesn't come from when videos are created itself. Business owners have the problem where they believe marketers, they believe videos take too much time to create. But we really like these two tools, Canva and Lumen 5 at Keystone Click, because they allow you to create very well done videos without it being a super time consuming process. So these are both free accounts, but they do have paid options, but I encourage you definitely to check it out. So a quick look at Canva. They have tons of different templates that they offer. I just typed in videos in the search bar, and all of these different options came up to utilize. So if we click into one, what will happen is it will open up the template itself. And from there, you have the option to edit any information, edit any of the text, any of the colors, any of the images. Canva also lets you add different graphic elements along with picture frames for videos. And another thing they do is they let you add audio, photos. They have some pre-designed or stock videos and images that you can utilize. So it's just really helpful to have some of these template designs that they provide and to utilize in the videos. So that is a bit about Canva. So moving on to Lumen 5. So what Lumen 5 is, we actually use this tool for some of our webinar promo videos, and they're really good for outlining main points. So, you might have a blog that you might want to outline some main points in the blog and then tell them or encourage people to check out the rest of the blog. That's something that this Lumen 5 could be used for. So let's take a quick look into one of the video templates. Check out kind of what it looks like. So first and foremost, it lets you pick format. If you're going to be posting YouTube, you definitely want the 16:9 format. But if you are going to be posting to Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, 1:1 is usually your go-to. So let's take a quick look at what it looks like once you actually get in and edit a video. So it initially opens up just the template, but it also allows you, if my computer loads, it allows you to add different types of media. They've got, like Canva, they've got a bunch of stock videos and images. So if I just type in something as simple as marketing, we'll have a bunch of different options come up. It allows you to change up your color scheme that you want to use for your video, allows you to change any backgrounds. And once you add a new scene, it's really helpful to have a bunch of different options so your videos have that variety. It's not just the same look every single time. Another fun feature that Lumen 5 offers, so it actually allows you to add the URL for maybe a blog post you have, or maybe you find an informative news piece that you want to share with your audience. If you post a URL for this, it's going to create a bit of an outline of the script for you. So I'd highly recommend checking that out. It'll give you the outline, and then from there you can just edit down and really get to the main point. So I highly recommend you check out both Canva and Lumen 5. I think that they're great tools. Even for someone who is not spectacular at video editing, those will be no problem to use whatsoever.
Yeah, totally. The user interfaces in both of those programs, it's just great for people that aren't necessarily, super tech savvy or good with computers. They are really easy to use programs. So I would highly recommend both of them.
Totally agree. All right, going to pass it back to Jack here for the final couple slides.
All right. So staying ahead of the game with live video. So real-time engagement is by far the most obvious benefit of social media live streaming. This means that instead of publishing content and waiting for someone to comment or engage with your post, you can actually have a two-way conversation with your audience in real time. Some platforms have QA systems built right into the software. Others let you leverage the comments being posted on the live stream within the feed as well. The data doesn't lie, and you can see that video streams receive higher engagements than any other video or static image posts.
Nice. Moving on.
All right. So some of the top live video formats. What technology and devices are required in order to do live streaming on social media channels? That's a great question. As you can imagine, there are a lot of options out there with new tools and resources showing up every day. As mentioned previously, you don't need to make a significant investment, and you can actually use your mobile device right now or a webcam to do a live stream. Here are some of the platforms you may recognize. Zoom. We at Keystone Click, we use Zoom every day. We are running this webinar through Zoom. It's great, super easy to use. LinkedIn as well. We share a lot of video on there. It's a great platform to get your message out. YouTube, Facebook, those are just the giants. Instagram, Restream, ManyCam. And this list is just going to keep on growing and growing. Yeah, live video is just blowing up right now.
100%. And something you'll notice for that image is in our webinars, it actually will give us the option to, from Zoom, stream directly on Facebook. So typically for the series kickoff for every webinar series, we'll stream it live to Facebook. So that's just another fun feature that Zoom offers. So you can live stream in multiple places at one time. So in summary, I said we do have a couple questions. So we'll get to that after we just close up shop here. So videos increase engagement. Video is king when it comes to content. It allows viewers to take in that audio, visuals, and text in all at the same time, making it just a really immersive experience compared to posts that are just text or just an image, really just taking it to the next level. Those big three that we mentioned before, inspire, educate, or entertain your audience, is crucial and should be something that is thought about before or while creating any video. So videos posted on social media, really, when it comes to those Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter, the big social media channels, try not to exceed that 3-minute threshold, especially when it comes to those platforms that prefer those short form types of content videos, and really try to grab your audience's attention within the first 10 seconds. Long form versus short form, best platforms for long form are going to be your Facebooks, your LinkedIns, and your YouTubes. And for short forms are going to be more of those really entertainment-based platforms such as Instagram and Twitter. Really focus on adding closed captions to all your videos. We think that is crucial to the success of any video, especially since so many people nowadays are watching videos without sound. Make sure you go in, double check after you use the auto captions before publishing to make sure that all the spelling, capitalization, grammar is correct. And then Canva and Lumen 5, I don't think these are two great, simple tools to create quality videos and without taking up too much time. So quick, easy ways to create videos, and then just focus on those other tips and you should be good to go. So we do have a quick few questions. I see one, which is, when should you consider hiring a professional versus producing the video yourself? That is a fantastic question. What I will say is, when you want to look into those professional videographer companies is when you need high quality shots of maybe your office space or real shots of you, your team in motion. Anything that you feel requires that extra bit of effort or video that you really want to take to the next level, that would be it. I think otherwise, typically for just videos about blog posts, event promos, things of that sort, majority of those can be done within those two tools we mentioned. Another question, do Canva and Lumen 5 offer closed captions? That is a fantastic question. I believe Lumen 5 offers closed captions. Thankfully, Canva I'm not positive about, but thankfully once you do upload the videos or begin uploading a video to, let's say, Facebook, it'll give you a captions option. You'll be able to click auto captions and that'll create those. But once again, just make sure you're reviewing, and that'll be the same situation for LinkedIn, Instagram, so on and so forth. I'll look into that and shoot that in the recording email for you. We have another question. Do we recommend live video over pre-recorded video? Definitely yes, especially when it comes to events such as this webinar. You can't have that real-time engagement. You can't have those real Q&A session, answer those right off the bat. With the pre-recorded video, I feel like you lose some of that personal touch, some of that interaction, and won't give out as great of an experience as live video offers. So if you ever host webinars, events, things of that sort, panel discussions, highly recommend going with the live video option compared to the recorded option. Do we have any more questions?
I got one. So what are some of the best ways to brainstorm video ideas?
Definitely. From my experience, I think that any form of content is a great way to create videos. So If you've got a blog on your website, that can be content or created into a video about maybe the top 3 points. And not only will that create like top 3 industry, I'll educate your audience on those top 3 points, but it will help encourage and people to go to your blog if you had that call to action. Learn more about blank by reading our blog, so on and so forth. Other ways to look up video ideas, I would say just any company culture posts. So get to know the team videos are super popular, and those can even be recorded with a cell phone, and using Canva or Lumen 5 can be spruced up to give it that professional feel. Meet the team videos, just getting to know your company on a bit of a more personal level is ways you can really elevate that. Another video ideas are just anything related to your product service offering. Explain your videos on any of your services or products, demos, as Jack was mentioning when he went over the types of videos earlier. Those are great options as well.
Also, you can look at what your competitors are doing, what their video creations are. I mean, that's always a great option to just, see where you're at and to inspire ideas.
Love that. Looking at the competition, doing a bit of research before time. All right. See if we get any more questions. The one thing I did want to mention before we finish up here is 1 week from Friday, we are having a storytelling workshop where you'll work hand in hand with the Keystone Click team to really work on better telling your business's brand story. We were talking about videos, how they better resonate with people. Being able to tell your story effectively is another way that you'll be able to establish that know, like, and trust factor. Be able to tell a story that showcases your differentiating factors from your competition, why clients should work with you. So that workshop, you'll work hand in hand with the Keystone Click team, work on some elevator pitches, create a differentiating story, some storyline elements that you guys can really lean into. So if anyone is interested in learning more about that, I will send that link in the recording email as well. But anything other than that, thank you guys so much for joining us. If you have any questions at all, feel free to reach out. Our emails are right here, spencer.barr@keystoneclick.com, jack.martin@keystoneclick.com. And follow us on social so you can keep up with all of our video content.
Totally.
All right. Well, thank you everyone for joining us, and we appreciate it. Hope everyone has a great St. Patrick's Day, and best of luck. Hope no one's March Madness bracket is busted already.
See you later.
Great. Hey, everyone.
Great being with you guys today.
Fantastic. Thank you, guys.